Muy distinto, nunca se va a poder dar su pelea.
Nada más se puede, pero si él viene fácil, tal vez.
Sí, pero no creo que lo haga.
Pues sí, lo importante es ganar, vernos bien. Estamos trabajando muy fuerte, creo que tenemos que ganar la pelea.
Or he feels it enough to be like, fuck this, I'm boxing. And goes on the bicycle and turns southpaw for the rest of the night. And I wouldn't blame him either. Fuck it, you're gonna go in there and collect the fucking paycheck at that point.
Right.
You're not gonna go get hurt.
Right.
What good is it to get fucking 20, 30 million if you are fucking hurt physically, end up in the hospital and hurt just physically, life-changing, you don't want that shit.
But you think Canelo can hurt him? It could be life-changing.
Good, he's that big, bro. One punch could fucking knock him out bad enough to hurt his eye socket or detach retina. You never fucking know.
Things escalated very fast. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford were supposed to have a standard press event, but Crawford quickly turned it into one of the wildest scenes ever. It wasn't Canelo this time. Instead, everything unraveled when Canelo's trainer, Eddie Reynoso, snapped and fired a chilling warning at Crawford. "You'll regret what you did." But this wasn't only trash talk. Reynoso's words mattered because they went far beyond the fight itself. For Canelo, it was about pride, legacy, and his entire career. What made it more surprising was that Crawford didn't react. It almost seemed as if Reynoso had revealed his belief, that he already knew the formula to defeat Canelo.
Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right
You
now.
can see it, but it's
taking
gonna be. It's
taking
gonna be difficult. You take it to your
I'm
mouth.
taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight
And
night.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I promise you.
but look, it's
All
gonna
right.
be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day.
All right.
Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm
I
different.
see you too.
You see I'm
I see
different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't look different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see.
We'll
You know
see.
it.
We'll see. We'll
We
see.
gonna
soon.
see.
But this is where things became even more intense. It wasn't only a battle of words. It turned into a real clash of perspectives. Just like Canelo, Reynoso is determined to protect his reputation. Crawford, on the other hand, is relying on his sharp IQ and ruthless mentality to overcome the gap in size.
He's a good fighter, but this is just different. You know.
Great fighter.
You
Get it right.
see what happened when a good fighter jump up and his opponent is great fighter. So you're gonna find out.
So that means you a good fighter and B-Ball is a great fighter. Is you a good fighter or a great fighter? Let me know.
I'm a great fighter.
So you got your ass whooped
You're
by a
a
good fighter, right?
You're a good fighter.
Well, every time you stepped up, you lost. Great fighter.
I'm not.
There are many opinions about Bud's power. Some believe it will shock Canelo, while others insist that at 168 pounds, size and strength usually prevail. Meanwhile, the broader boxing camp argues that this matchup is completely even. In truth, anything could happen. That's exactly why the stakes appear so high.
When they say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov is a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat.
The storyline of the fight of the decade may have shifted after this press event. Let's break it all down. Here's how it unfolded. Crawford was doing what he does best when he declared to everyone that he already knew the way to beat Canelo. He stayed calm and almost quiet. I've studied him, but said as he leaned toward the mic, I already have the strategy in my hands. I know how to beat him, and I've done it before.
over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse?
Ah.
The reality is Canelo does put people out, from
Yeah.
Kirkland to Amir Khan to just.
Don't do
Obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
no, but he's not Kovalev.
Kovalev
We have
was
to respect
older.
the power of Canelo.
He does.
Billy
he
Joe.
does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power. But all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is not there.
So how do you see it fight with him?
Tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching him, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too.
Crawford spoke in his usual way, sounding calm and filled with confidence. The reporters leaned forward as the crowd murmured softly. Then Eddie Reynoso slammed his hand on the table. Do you think this is easy? Reynoso fired back. Canelo isn't one of those welterweights you've beaten. He's a true 168-pounder. You'll regret stepping into this ring. You'll be sorry for thinking you could just walk in and embarrass him. Within moments, headlines were already being written.
And Canelo hit him, and Jamel was like, hell no, Jamel took a knee. You know, so it's a big difference. And Crawford had that one fight at 154, and he didn't, Madrimov would touch him up a little bit. And this is nowhere close to Madrimov. You talk about Canelo. Now, if it was just another bigger guy, I would go with Crawford. But you talk about great. This might be, people might kill me for it, but well, not really, but this might be the best Mexican fighter ever. One of them, at least, right? You talk about Canelo and Crawford going up against him. So the only thing they have, but I would say the only thing he has going for him is he's a skillful fighter, and Canelo is older, but so is Crawford too. I think Crawford is 37, 38, something like that. Canelo 36, so they both are older right now. But man, I don't personally see it. A lot of people see that Crawford can beat Canelo. It's just like that punch resistance is something else. They make weight classes for a reason. If he could beat him, man, I think he on the Mount Rushmore of fighters if Crawford can pull this off. But I don't see it.
So, what caused Reynoso to snap? The answer is simple. For him, this fight is about more than just business. It feels deeply personal.
With son and current head trainer Eddie, this collaboration transcends more typical trainer-boxer bonds. They're family.
Me conoce desde que tengo 13 años. Como un hermano, la verdad es que es como familia para mí. Pues prácticamente llegué al gimnasio sabiendo muy poco y Eddie me hizo todo lo que soy. Y Eddie sabe lo que puedo hacer. Me manda a hacer lo que sé hacer y sabe que si me manda a hacer algo lo voy a hacer perfectamente. A lo mejor no en ese rato, pero ya lo traigo en la cabeza y en el momento que lo necesite lo voy a hacer. Tengo un equipo muy bueno y me mantienen tranquilos. Hemos tenido muchos campamentos, hemos estado mucho tiempo juntos. Prácticamente la he pasado más tiempo con ellos que con mi familia quizá.
Reynoso and Canelo have been side by side since their teenage years. He has watched him rise from a young Mexican talent into one of the biggest names in sports. Every insult toward Canelo and every claim that Crawford can defeat him in the ring feels like a personal attack on Eddie, too.
De Munguía, pues obviamente con Munguía estamos al 100%, ¿no? Él lo sabe. Solamente él sabe lo que pasó. No, al final de cuentas sabe lo que pasó. Obviamente la gente le tira a Eddie, que porque Eddie no le lleva su suplementación, Eddie no le lleva sus cosas, lo que tienen que comer, ni mucho menos para que entienda. Eddie nomás lo entrena y punto. ¿Cuál fue hace tiempo yo le dije, tú tienes, el día que vayas a agarrar un peleador, ¿qué es lo que tienes que hacer? Agarrarlo desde todo. Tú tienes que darle de comer, suplementación y todo. ¿Para qué? Para que no te pasen esas cosas que ya han pasado. Y lo que sí tengan bien claro es que nosotros creemos en Munguía, que seguramente lo va a aclarar pronto. Y lo que quiero que tengan bien claro es que Eddie Reynoso no le da su suplementación. Eddie Reynoso nomás se dedica a entrenar. Darle de contar.
Remember to that boxing trainers do far more than simply stand in the corner. Their duty is to guide, protect, and even father their fighters. So when Crawford spoke, it likely came across as disrespectful to Reynoso. It wasn't just saying, I could beat your boxer. It was more like, I can destroy everything you built. No wonder Reynoso snapped. But here's the real question: was it calculated or just raw anger? After all, press conferences are part of the fight itself.
To be aggressive, not be affected by Bud's punches, and just keep, attacking and imposing that will on him. And then Bud being a dog that he is, and just saying, you know what, I'm gonna go, I'm letting loose. I think that can change the effect on Bud, and I think that will be the way that Alvarez can win that fight.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so what do you think? Obviously, if Bud remains slick, what outside of that could cause Canelo to...
People often say that Canelo never loses his calm. Crawford also has a reputation for staying composed. But once Reynoso stepped in, the tone shifted. Suddenly, it became teacher versus fighter with heavy mind games in play.
Should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermell Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life, and he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it and lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3 and then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go.
Reynoso warned, "You'll regret this," but those weren't just empty words. They were meant to plant doubt, to make Crawford hesitate, and to remind him that this isn't Errol Spence. Sean Porter isn't across the ring. Canelo Alvarez is a powerhouse at 168 pounds. Here's where the twist came. Crawford didn't flinch. He didn't answer, just gave a calm smile. He leaned back, nodded, and if you know Bud, that grin means he's already 10 steps ahead. Reynoso hadn't only spoken, he pointed to the elephant in the room. This fight isn't at welterweight or even junior middleweight. It's happening at 168, the super middleweight division where Canelo has lived and dominated for years.
For what the next couple of months are going to hold for both guys.
This is going to be super interesting for Canelo especially. Everyone's focusing on Terence Crawford because he's a smaller guy. How much weight is he going to put on, etc., etc. No rehydration clause in this fight. Meaning, like when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, because Canelo's the bigger guy, he put a rehydration clause in, because Floyd was the money guy. If Canelo wanted the payday, he had to acquiesce and give Floyd what he wanted. Canelo's the money guy. Terence Crawford can't go in there and say, hey, I want a rehydration clause. Not that he even would, right? So everyone's looking at Crawford, how big is he going to be? But I'm looking at Canelo. What Canelo comes into this fight? The older Canelo, meaning the younger Canelo, the older guy, the old, long time ago Canelo, who was a really well-rounded counterpuncher, who could do everything, or this more recent Canelo, who just hunts guys down and has become more...
Voices like Edgar Berlanga made it clear that in this fight, anything can happen. Canelo may have the edge in strength, but Crawford brings an incredible fight IQ right now. It feels like a dead tie. That's why moments like Reynoso's outburst carry so much weight in a matchup this close. Every piece of psychological warfare could tip the scales.
Your news. Hold on to your gloves. Fight fans. The boxing world is buzzing about the upcoming Canelo versus Crawford showdown. Trainer Bob Santos is placing his bets on Canelo Alvarez, and here's why. It's all about size and power, folks. Canelo's been crushing it at super middleweight, while Crawford is making a massive leap up. Santos thinks Canelo's experience at 168 pounds will be too much for Crawford to handle. But don't count Crawford out just yet. He's undefeated for a reason. Will Canelo's strength prevail, or can Crawford's skills overcome the size difference? This fight's got everyone talking, and it's anyone's game. Who are you rooting for in this epic clash? Drop your predictions.
So the real question now is this: was Reynoso correct? Has Crawford truly considered how dangerous it will be to face a bigger, stronger Canelo? Or was Bud's smile the real response, proof that he's prepared to shock the world and already 3 steps ahead? Share your thoughts in the comment section below to get more fight updates. I'll catch you in the next one.
Coming up September, what do you think about that fight?
Canelo Crawford, good fight. Good fight. Canelo has advantage because Crawford moving up, but my advice to Crawford is like maintain the speed, improve the speed, and improve the strength, because it's hard to swap in the higher weight and maintain your speed. So speed is the key. Like, so he should focus on speed, footwork, and improve the power.
Like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's gonna be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's gonna slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know?
Knock him out to beat him, you know? He's never been knocked out before, but he lost fights before, you know? So everybody, you know, that's coming in thinking that I need a knockout to beat Canelo Alvarez is wrong. And that's not the approach that, you know, we take in this fight. If the knockout comes, then it comes. But if we're not going in there to knock him out, we're not looking for the knockout.
Terence, you've said if you win, you feel you're on the Mount Rushmore.
I didn't say if I win.
Okay.
I said when I win.
Well, with that, you know, what is Terence Crawford's legacy with a win over Canelo?
Listen, I already said it.
Terence Crawford wants to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
Just from your expert opinion, knowing how Canelo fights, what he's like in the ring, I know you haven't been in the ring with Terence, but what do you think of that fight?
I truly believe, you know, that, you know, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, you know, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, you
Crawford problems. I favor Canelo, not by a lot, but I do favor him. I just think that, you know, I think the Skull fight was just a bad style. And I think Canelo was like, why force the issue? You know what I mean? I'm up. These guys running. I'm not gonna take a chance. So I think that it was that kind of fight for Canelo. But Marjamal did give Crawford problems, you know what I'm saying? And where I felt like, damn, at 54, he gave you problems. 68 is different.